umaga! Isang masayang pagbati mula sa Laguna. What a beautiful morning, dear sponsors, exhibitors, partners, visitors, and of course, our dear friends. Hello! Magandang umaga. Welcome to the Philippines' biggest virtual business expo for SMEs, startups, and entrepreneurs. The 11th Philippine SME Business Expo. And this is day 2 of our jam-packed, fun-filled, interesting virtual event. By the way, my name is Grace de Mapilis Garcera from the Salt and Light Circle Talents community and a proud member of the Laguna Events Association of Professionals. You know what? Today I'm truly grateful for the opportunity to be your host for today's program. Well, let me just check on everyone. Have you visited all the 60 booths? Well, if you haven't, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and visit the talk. In between the talks, you can check all the booths and make sure you get every company's deals and offers. Make good use of that. Grab all the promotions and message those you'd like to connect with. While this expo is pure business, we also know how to have fun. So if you want to be one of the winners of the PHILSME gift packs every day, please make sure you are very active and participative so that you can get up to the top 10 of the leaderboard. And remember, every day at 4 p.m., we'll be looking for the top 10 most engaged visitors, and we'll be raffling off 3 PhilSME gift packs worth 1,000 pesos. Plus, meron pang bonus free video consult from Dr. Anywhere worth 550 pesos. So, stay on the lookout. And at the announcement section of the expo, make sure you check it every 5 p.m. And also, let me just check. This summer is coming up and everybody deserves some time to chill and relax. So did you know that you'll have the chance to win 2 tickets? Yes, 2 tickets for free to Boracay, courtesy of our sponsor, Philippine Airlines. Well, I'm sure you want to know how? Well, all you have to do is to join the passport contest. Paano yun? Make sure you get to complete the exciting tasks like visiting the booth, engaging the fellow attendees, participating in the community threads, and aside from watching the business talks. And if you qualify for the passport contest, on day 3, that's tomorrow, day 3 at 5 p.m., we'll be raffling off and announcing the grand winner of the 2 tickets to Boracay. O diba, ang saya-saya. We are now on day 2, kaya naman before you go around, join me and together, let's learn about digital marketing solutions for SMEs. Let's understand how businesses can create brand stories and expand their digital footprint through user-generated content. Sounds exciting, diba? So let's welcome the director and founding board member of Creator and Influencer Council of the Philippines, also known as CICP. Please welcome the president and CEO of True Digital Philippines, Mr. Dindo Marzan. Good morning, Mr. Dindo.
Good morning everyone. It's great to be here. So thank you for inviting me to give a talk about UGC marketing. If I may start and give you an introduction, we usually define user-generated content or UGC in so many ways. But here with my presentation, you'll be able to know what UGC really is. And at the same time, how can you actually leverage it when you co-create stories with your customers? There's more than the UGC that you actually see on social media. So let me proceed. Let's define first what UGC is. UGC is any content that you can actually see on the internet, but it doesn't have to be always social media. It could be different platforms This could be anything from social media posts to a review on a third-party website. I'll go through the different types, okay? So here's the first one. This is the most common user-generated content that we have. The social media content, whatever you see on Instagram or on Facebook, those are considered user-generated content. Someone posted it, whether it's a review, an image, or anything that they want to share about in a social networking site. That's considered as UGC. You might be surprised, some of you might be surprised that blog post is considered as a UGC. When you post something on a blog, whether it's your own blog, your own website, or a particular website that caters to bloggers to actually put like your online diary out there, that's considered as user-generated content as well. It's something that you have produced, created as a user, as an individual. It's not for a brand, or it's not for a particular job. So that's UGC as well, the blog post. Next one would be video content. Of course, when creation of video became easier, with the tools that are already present online, you can easily create and edit videos like an expert or like a pro. So because of that, blog was even converted to vlog, meaning you're actually sharing something like a personal review or personal opinion of a certain subject or a particular product, and you do it via video instead of just writing. Now there's vlog, and with Facebook Live, you do live stream. Those are the video content are considered user-generated content as well. When we were trying to define clearly what UGC was, we also found out that even Q&A forum entries, like this one, for example, is also considered as a user-generated content. When you post on Reddit, when you post on Quora, those platforms where you ask questions and some people answer them, that's also relevant information, especially if the one who answered is an expert in that field and provided you the correct answer. That's user-generated content as well, from a user who's an expert or a key opinion leader on a particular subject. And then lastly, case studies. Case studies are like the highest level of user-generated content, because usually this could take, it would take a while for you to create it, because you need to do research, you need to observe, research, and finally come up with the entire study about a particular brand, a particular topic, or a field of interest, right? So in this case, the case study here, it's not really Coca-Cola or Nike who did this content or created this content. There were particular people who just observed their campaign, or looked how their campaign became successful, and posted it probably on LinkedIn or other professional networks, which we know is also considered a social networking site, except that the content you shared there is more professional, more about work, more about corporate life in general. So these ones that you see on LinkedIn are also user-generated content, even though some would refer to them as tech paper, white paper. As long as it's an individual creator who generated it, then it's also UGC. With that definition of UGC, you would actually have a wider perspective that UGC is not just about putting a video on TikTok or posting your favorite food on Instagram. You can actually use it as a tool in terms of building your brand or making sure that more people know about your brand. And this, I have 3 key factors when you use UGC marketing. So I'm gonna coin use UGC with marketing. There's user-generated content, but you can also do UGC marketing. If you actually crack this, and this is what I'm sharing with you now, what we've done so far from our side, from True Digital Group, a company based in Thailand with a product called True ID. It's a digital lifestyle platform. You can Google it. If you look at it in Thailand, it's so big. We're just starting here in the Philippines, but we've tried to follow the same formula that made it successful in Thailand. And this is for you to know and for you to apply also in your own brand. So there are 3 key factors that we follow. Number 1 is community engagement. When we say community engagement, this is different from social media management. Everyone can create a Facebook page. Everyone can create a Twitter account for your brand. But community engagement is way different than that. It's connected, but way different. Social media management is just the technicalities of managing that particular account, whether you have an FB page or you have an Instagram account. The community engagement that I'm talking about is really either empathizing or feeling what your community members feel about your brand, connecting to them, knowing what they want, what they expect from your brand, how they see you, how they perceive you. When they genuinely like your brand, and that's when they like it, of course, some would just be a superficial like, but that like actually grows over time as they get to know more about your brand, what you stand for, what are your advocacies, what you believe in, how you create your products, how you want to portray your brand out there. There has to be brand love, and you can only do that if you really know your community members. You talk to them, you ask what they like, you push for polls, let them vote, engage them as if they also are co-owners of your brand. That's the community engagement that I was talking about. I will share some case studies later how we apply this so you would understand more what I'm talking about. But for now, let me share the framework and to be on the same page when we actually talk about the next case study so you could apply it and eventually you can do it for your own brand. Number two is native advertising. We've learned about native advertising, like for example, there's an article and it seems like a news format, but eventually you would see there some injected brands and promotion. We're very much aware of that native advertising done by publishers. But now with the advent of video creation and with everyone being a good creator, especially here in the Philippines, we are really lucky to have a lot of content creators, and these content creators even increased during the pandemic. I mean, we're all working from home. We developed a new knowledge like how to edit a video, and there were tools also that was born, and we also have Zoom now. I mean, all these things became easier and more accessible to the regular netizen who can now create the content. Now, this native advertising has pushed it to the next level wherein everyone can actually create a content and make it beneficial to a particular brand. Case in point, and I think baka dito kayo mas makaka-relate, no? Like whoever is watching Korean series now or for the longest time, you would see na when you watch a Korean novela, 'di ba? Biglang merong copy ko doon or biglang kumakain sila sa subway o kaya naman meron silang kinakain na egg drop burger ba yun or sandwich. Those are considered native advertising, but you would see it wasn't disruptive. It was part of the story. It was part of the narrative. And that's the native advertising that I'm talking about, especially anchored on video creation. And there are so many Filipinos who are really good in doing this already. Either they create a meme, a web series, or just create a video that tells a story about a particular topic, and eventually there's also a brand presence there in that particular story. Again, some examples later. Number three is conversion rate optimization. This could get technical. Some refer to it as CRO, but just spelled out here so it's easier for everyone to remember. But CRO or conversion rate optimization is very important when you do UGC marketing. Some would use UGC marketing just for brand building or just to create awareness or to inject or seed word of mouth marketing so that people can start talking about your brand. But if you really want to be serious about it, this is the third factor that is very important to make sure that it's very efficient and you will benefit completely from what you're doing. The conversion rate optimization is checking from one step to another in the entire consumer journey how they are actually going towards the ultimate goal. And what is the ultimate goal usually? For that consumer to buy a product, for them to, let's say, like your page, or for them to watch the video that you want them to watch. That the conversion rate from just visiting or going to your platform, whether it's a website, mobile app, or a blog, and then eventually going to the next level, like buying something, shelling out money, or posting or sharing, those are the things that you need to see whether they're converting from just a mere guest in your website to finally being an availer of your product, or eventually a loyal fan, or even a brand ambassador eventually. Those things can be done, and you don't have to really spend a lot of money, especially if, because I am considered as a medium enterprise here in the Philippines as well. Not in compared to Thailand, we're so big there, but here I'm also a startup. That's why I apply these things in terms of cost efficiencies. So I'll go to the different examples here. And when we go to the different examples, the conversion rate optimization is something that we should always think about. And I would definitely say how things were converted in that particular campaign. But again, I'm favorite ko may three things lagi. Three things with regard to conversion rate optimization, kasi this is the most important factor. Drivers. Drivers is what people make. Well, these drivers are the ones that make the people interested in what you have posted. So, so for example, the drivers could be, there's a very, for example, there's a very interesting content, something that sparked their imagination. It could also be a celebrity that gathers them and pulls them to go to your platform, to your product, to your store, to your business. The drivers are very important when you want to make sure that they convert eventually. However, it cannot be all good. You would also have you would have to check also the barriers. Sometimes you were able to bring them to your platform, to your storefront, but magtataka ka, bakit hindi nila click? Why didn't they watch it? Why didn't they click the add to cart button? Why? Through the data that you would see, you would realize, let's say 10,000 yung nadala mo doon, and then only 5,000 clicked. What happened to the other 5,000? What was the barrier? Was it when they saw the price, it's so expensive, they didn't push through? Or is it because nag-error yung page? Or they encountered something? You have to map out the user experience, the customer experience, to understand how things or people are converting the way you wanted them to be or want to happen. And lastly, the hooks. The hooks are very important. What persuades your visitors to act? Again, going back to the one that I said earlier, the call to action. What do you want them to do? Click that add to cart button, that buy button, that watch button, or whatever it is. There has to be a hook. Either, hey, click this button now because you're gonna get a 15% discount, or watch this now. Once you watch it, you will see the secret topic or secret word to get a chance to win 1,000,000 pesos. Sample lang ha, but those hooks are very important as well. And that completes the experience to make sure that the conversion rate is higher than you're expected. But if you do the normal thing, you post something there and just wish that people would come there and realize that your product is awesome, I mean, that's quite difficult because no one knows that your product or your service is really good until you really convince them to do so, or at least even convince them to try. They don't know what they're missing until they try it. That's why free trial is also important. But later siguro yun sa Q&A, when if ever you ask questions, what's the best hook and how to spot barriers and everything. So here are sample campaigns. I think this would be very interesting for you guys. So this is a sponsored content that we collaborated. Actually, we just mediated. There's a content creator, a very good Filipino content creator, and then there's a brand. In this case, it's CP Foods. It's a quite big food processing company, also our sister company present here in the Philippines, and they wanted people to know more about their product. So that content creator and that brand co-created Yum Pinas. Yum Pinas is a 10-episode series in True ID, and because of their collaboration, many Filipinos learned about the products of CP Foods, and at the same time, the one that got them interested is because of the content that they were able to watch. This particular recipe, I'll share you this example. Let me play the video. notice in that video, you wouldn't actually feel that there's really brand intrusion, except that it's very natural for the ingredients to come from that company, and you appreciated its application in a particular dish. So we also made sure that it's very timely when that was executed, because that was the Christmas seasons. Hence, the recipe is a Christmas chicken casserole. So that's also important when you're doing UGC marketing. And we got a lot of views here, like thousands of views here, just for this particular recipe. It even was featured on TikTok as one of the famous Christmas recipes there. So also important what content distribution channels you're going to choose from. Another one is a live event. So if you can do video on demand, which I showed earlier, it could be a live event as well, a sponsored live event in that case. So Plug and Play is a regular live show that we have on True ID. And we were able to partner with Angus Paris for it to be, injected as a native advertising inside the content, but you wouldn't even feel it. It's like part of the entire story. And that's what I was talking about earlier. Collaborating, in this case, we collaborated with Richard Wan, who's quite a famous actor, part of Pinoy Big Brother. And let's watch so you would see what I'm talking about as well.
And guys, syempre naman, last but not the very least, our very own from the Philippines. Ooh, bigat. Okay. Ano na ba? Do you guys know what this is? Do you guys know what this is? Okay. This is from our very own, from the Philippines. It's beef pares from Angus Pares. Did you guys guess it right? I mean, it wasn't that hard to guess, right? Diba? I mean, to pick up from all the clues kanina. And guys, this is really good, you guys.
So what we did here, actually, it's food around the world. And, True ID is present in Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand, and Philippines. And the storyline of the live event was for Richard to guess which particular dish would be famous in a particular country. So obviously, naman, we can always relate kapag gutom tayo, di ba? We go to a Paris, and Paris is such a famous dish in case na pagod ka, kinakain na, halimbawa, may mga call center agents, construction workers. Ako, mahilig ako sa Paris. You just go to the next canto there, and then afterwards, busog ka na, tapos sulit pa yung bayad mo. So, yun kasi yung essence nung Angus Paris as well. So, merong collaboration nangyari, may planning, and very natural yung paglabas ng Angus Paris when we did this live event. Of course, ang kasabayan nun, let's say sa Thailand, Pad Thai, sa Indonesia, nasi goreng, and then sa Vietnam, I forgot, pero it's something that's very famous as well. Ano yata? Spring rolls, fresh spring rolls. So, that's an example. Pero ito live. So, mismo during sa live event na yon, people were asking, saan makakabili ng Angus Paris? Saan okay? Saan yan? Kasi doon pa lang makikita mo ang sarap-sarap ng itsura. And that's a hook, right? That's something that would convince your people or your target customer to try it. And once they try it, yun na. Kung talagang napakagaling ng produkto or napakasarap ng produkto, uulit at uulit na yan. And people will talk about it. That's how you trigger word of mouth marketing. But you have to trigger it. You have to do something. Hindi yung biglang malalaman na lang nila. Of course, pwede namang super organic na talaga may magta-try nung product mo, and then he or she would actually talk about it. But I'm sure you've read some articles as well or study na people tend to post more when they rant about something with negativity. Pero pag masaya sila, they keep quiet, unfortunately. And I could even relate to that. Pag hindi ko gusto yung service, I would post it or call out or message the particular brand. Pero when I'm happy, minsan ko lang maalala, hey guys, you did a good job. That's a good service. That's a good product. Or that food is amazing. But I try to be more conscious about it kasi I know how hard it is to get a good review. And that's the reality. That's the reality. So you really have to make sure na people start talking about your product or brand and make it the most, or do it in the most natural way possible. And native advertising would be one of them. And this was an example. The other one is, this is also this is more of a branded live event. The previous one is a sponsored live event because it's a True ID event. This one, it was posted on Immunobean's Facebook page. I'll give you a glimpse of the content, okay?
Kunwari start. Good evening. Good evening.
Yan! Alright, good evening. Magandang gabi. Immunobean.
Yo!
Alright, guys.
Good evening, everybody.
Magandang
I'm
gabi.
Gigi.
I'm Sir John.
Opa J!
Siyempre ako ang lover boy LA.
And don't forget, Don Romeo, and we are
Gigi Vibes!
Kung
So
stress
this one
kayo
was
from
a completely branded live event by Immunobean, live streamed on their Facebook page, and this was to engage their customers. It's like a pay it forward thing to thank them, and at the same time through a virtual concert with Gigi and her band. So this is more of brand building, and the in terms of conversion rate, they didn't have an online store yet, but if they had an online store, most probably people started to buy the coffee beans already. But at the same time, in terms of views and engagement, thousands as well watched it live simulcast on Facebook, and everyone just enjoyed because, of course, you know, Gigi is very famous as well. So it's also important who the content creator that you're gonna choose and what you're gonna do with him or with her or with that group. Here's another one. It's a branded content. It's a TV commercial, but probably I could skip this part. The normal branded content would be the TV commercials that you see and giving you a story of what the brand is all about. I want to jump to the next one. Okay. Yeah. If you really want to push it to the next level, of course, it's gonna make you spend more. But let's say in my case, as True ID, when I was starting, I wanted to get more creators to work with us. And what I wanted to do was find out who are the good content creators out there. So what I did was I had a pitching session at the BICON event, which is a yearly event done by RGC in Cebu. But now it has become a national virtual event where content creators and influencers actually participate. And in this case, 10 were chosen as the finalists to actually pitch, like, I don't know if you know Shark Tank, but it's like a Shark Tank for content creation. And I'll show you the video so you would have a glimpse of what happened. It's a short video, but completes the story of what this was all about.
Documenting everything about anything. Now that we're living in the age of digital content, everyone is documenting everything about anything. So how can you stand out in the vastness of this virtual space? As enablers for digital transformation, TrueID Click gave Pinoy content creators from all over the country a chance to be seen and heard on TrueID's international platform. And it all started with a click. With a total of 500,000 pesos production grant to be given away, many hopefuls answered the call, but only a few were chosen.
Congratulations! You are one of the finalists of True ID Click at BICON.
They rose to the occasion and shared their creative vision with great passion in front of a panel of 3 well-respected judges who are big names in the biz. Each finalist took their shot in a make-or-break pitch where their concept was analyzed, magnified, and realized.
How will you make the show a little bit more appealing to the younger market?
And how do you think this content will stand out above other mom-centric type of content out there?
But which one clicked and which were just clickbait?
refine it, go back to it, repurpose, refine, and then bring it back again. You know, it doesn't end here. So I congratulate everyone, because just being here makes you all winners.
After a round of nerve-wracking deliberations, one emerged victorious. Patricio! Congratulations, Janine! Congratulations! You will receive 100,000 pesos production grant from True ID, and you get the privileged slot to showcase your work on True ID Philippines Facebook page. Congratulations, Janine! But wait, there's more. It's time to reveal the 4 other creators who earned their spot on the winning team, each receiving a cash grant of 100,000 pesos.
Hi, True ID. Thank you so much for choosing my pitch, Maria Clara Rising, as one of the winning entries for this year's ByCon. Maraming salamat for the opportunity. Thank you so much, True ID.
Thank you sa lahat ng bumubuo ng True ID Philippines for the experience and opportunity. Delivery fee not included.
Yes! Yes! So yun, thank you, Lord.
For this opportunity. Thank you so much, True ID.
Congratulations, winners. ID is True Digital Realm.
So there you have it. I mean, we spent 500,000 pesos for that one, but the returns was so good in terms of conversion rate. We had 10 new content creators working for us. We had brands talking to us, wanted to collaborate with these creators. I mean, it depends on what your objective is, but as long as you find the value for the investment that you've made, it shouldn't be a problem. That's the I think the peak type of user-generated content when we had a pitching session like that. I mean, just to wrap up and make it easier for you guys. I mean, it's so easy to actually get an influencer to work with you. I mean, we at True Corporation also have Online Station, which is an influencer networking agency. You can even book them online. So for example, this one, you just go to onlinestation.ph. I can easily even share with you how it's done. So let's say you want to book someone, for example, Archie Aguilar, and you want to work with him. For example, in let's say the project is, let's say, SME promo campaign, and then you want him to do something for you on Instagram, and it's going to be posted tomorrow, and then discussed via call, for example. I mean, I can just easily add to cart. You can add to cart the influencer. Check all these, check out. And right now, guess what? We have a discount code. Let's say you want a discount. You just put in SME15 for a 15% discount. You apply it. And there you have it. You just fill this up. You continue payment. And that's it. It's like checking out on Lazada. I mean, that's something that we can also offer to anyone. And it's easier for you to choose who is the influencer that suits your need as a company, as a brand, or as a product. Let me go back to my presentation. So there you have it. If you want that special offer, you can scan this QR code and avail of that discount. I mean, I can put this up for this time, but you can also ask the organizers about this event, about this offer, the organizers of this event about this offer. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. Thank you. I think nag-exceed ako ng time, but hopefully I got to say everything that could help the SMEs out there in terms of using UGC for marketing purposes. Thank you so much.
An exciting morning for everyone kasi simula pa lang natin, napakaganda na ng topic. Thank you so much. At this point, we would like to thank once again our President and CEO for True Digital Philippines, Mr. Dindo Marzan. Marami pong salamat. By the way, for those who would like to ask questions, don't be shy to check on their page, rather their booth, so you can give more questions there. I'm sure, Sir Dindo, many of your followers would like to ask questions. So for those who would like to have clarifications and to avail the 15% discount, check out their booth.